I wanted to share this video with you, and let me give you a warning that this
thank
is,
you.
to an educated person, this is not going to shock you. This is just another day in an Islamic preacher's day. Just another day. Have a listen to this. And actually, the shocking part is, actually maybe not, because Muslim women are getting educated in that too. So have a listen to what this woman, Islamic professor Saud Saleh, says. Have a listen what she says.
Oh no.
ملك اليمين كان نظاما موجودا قبل الإسلام في كل الأمم، كل الدول، مش الجاهلية وبس. وكان أي حد يتاجر في الحر أو في الحرة ويبيع فيه، كان بنسميه بيع الأحرار، زي ما بيحدث الآن اللي هو بيع الأعضاء والأحرار نفسهم وكلام بالده. لكن لما الإسلام جه بقى نظمه لا يكون إلا عن طريق الحرب المشروعة بين المسلمين وبين أعدائهم. يعني لو إحنا حاربنا إسرائيل، وإسرائيل دي مغتصبة للأرض بل ومعتدية على البشر وعلى العقيدة، وطبعا إحنا بنتكلم المستحيل، يعني مستحيل إن إحنا هيجي اليوم اللي نحارب فيه إسرائيل، ولو إن سورة الإسراء مبشرة بكده يعني، وليس مستحيلا على الله سبحانه وتعالى. فأصل الحرب من النساء هم ملك اليمين، بمعنى إن عشان أذلهم.
There you go, in order to humiliate them. Nuria, humiliate.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Islam is all subjugation and humiliation. Not
humiliation.
Not surprised. I'm just happy she's telling the truth, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's on your side.
يصبحوا ملكا للقائد أو للجيش أو للمسلم يستمتع بيهم.
To humiliate them, he can have sex with them, just like he has sex with his wives. Actually, no, worse.
كما يستمتع بزوجاته. بعض بقى المتنطعين والمتشددين واللي بيسيئوا للإسلام يقول لك أنا أجيب واحدة من شرق آسيا تكون ملك يمين، وبموافقة زوجتي أخصص لها غرفة وأستمتع بيها كملك يمين. هذا هراء وهذا ادعاء يعني لا يقول به الإسلام.
Actually, she's wrong here. You actually can. If the other person is up for in the market, there are plenty of hadiths that actually show that there used to be markets of slave girls. There used to be markets. You just go. You could even inspect them by touching their boobs. The only part you couldn't touch was their vagina, I think, and that was also from the inside. So you could slap the bum. You could check their breasts. You could inspect them. There's actually another YouTube video that shows it's obviously dramatization of Hungarian and Croatian and Serbian women when they were taken captives by the Ottomans, and it's absolutely horrific to see that. And then this big bearded men would just come and they'll just touch in the whole market. And you feel the same when you see the ancient Rome dramatization of ancient Romans, how they used to sell and trade slaves. So Islam does allow this is another lie that they tell you. And Nuria, when you're talking, I'll find the hadith as well. This is a lie that they say that no, only female captives. I showed you the previous video where he's saying that you can actually sell them. So if I've captured a woman and I've done coitus interruptus and I'm done with her, and that was the whole point of coitus interruptus, that you don't want to impregnate them because they will lose their value. So once they've had a baby, so that's why you can sell them. So what do you mean by you can't do this? You could buy if they're in the so-called market, if they're willing to be purchased, then it is what it is. But the part is to humiliate them. Just imagine, why can't you gather this? Like Israel, as bad as it is, it's obviously a political issue. Israeli forces are not killing your Palestinian men and grabbing their women, and to humiliate them fucking them. They're not doing that. Why can't you get this part? And if they did do it, the whole world would condemn it, because that is against Geneva Convention. That is against the laws that the whole civilized world has come up with and agreed upon. Why can you not get that? These people don't get it. Are we really talking to a wall here? Why can't they just not get it?
That's the mental block. Like, when I was watching this video, I was trying to understand, because for me, this is the saddest part. Like, when a woman like this at one of the most like significant Islamic institutions, which is like
She's a
looked
professor.
upon, exactly, and it's Al-Azhar University as well. So obviously, like, strong Islamic links, and literally what comes out of Al-Azhar is pretty much considered gospel in Islam. But basically, when a woman is like this and she's saying what she's actually saying, first of all, she betrays all women. Like, that's why when also we talk about feminism, or we talk about like our cultural hang-ups coming from like South Asia, for example, half the time the battle is with women of our own ilk, because they are also complicit in thinking that this is actually a woman's place. And she's gone as far as to say it exactly how it is, like, your property, you're able to be beaten exactly as if you are a piece of property, or worse, like a domestic animal. And women, exactly like what you were saying, Horace, there were markets where cattle was traded, and alongside that, there was women being traded. And these were open markets, and a woman is pretty much placed on the same footing. But when I was watching that, my angle was, how does a woman say this and like feel all right, like in every part of her, every cell in her body, basically, and how does she sleep at night? So my rationale was trying to get into her, like, step into her shoes. And because I can't, if you go by her logic, we can't condemn what she's saying about, get a Thai bride, like a lot of Arab men do, and bring them back to the Middle East. But her rationale, it's similar to what a lot of these Muslim apologists say, and the Mufti you showed us earlier, is that was all necessary in a time of war, and back in the day. And so she thought, she's kind of putting it out there that was the law for women. This was a normal, casual concept, and in war times and warlike situations, this happens. Because notice she didn't give the green light for men to do what she thought they're using it now, is like weaponizing it to just get a woman that they want to use primarily as a sex slave in this modern day and age, without there being a war-driven situation. But even her Israel example for it, because like what she's saying is basically that if Israel beats them in war, Israel, by her logic, can take their women as captives. And as you're saying, it's not going to happen.
Humiliate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Humiliate
and subjugate is Islam's two key points.
Here's a couple of those examples how they used to be sold in the markets. We used to sell our slave women and the mothers of our children. So even if they have born them kids, even then they would be sold afterwards. So there are plenty of other references to that as well. So that is the nature. It's just so. It's so filthy. Like, I mean, here's the people don't. I think someone made a point on Ghalib stream the other day that maybe we should be creating animations of what this actually means, because visual depiction somehow gathers the attention a bit more. Like, words can't do that.
They say a picture speaks 1,000 words. Obviously, an animation probably speaks a million more.
This is a video I was talking about. It's just I'm just gonna show you. So it just shows you that Islamic.
Even I don't want to see this, but yeah, okay.
So they go like this, and they're going about the business, and then this is how Ottomans were. They've captured them. Here comes Muslim armies. And again, I'm not saying that it didn't happen to Muslims as well. Yeah, it was a tough, brutal world. It happened on both sides. But look at but this is what the world Muhammad was born into. And then look at it. They come and grab him. There you go. There's a free woman. I've just murdered her husband. Let me take him. And then this is a market. No, oh, sorry, they're being taken to their lands. This is it. Look at
They sailed away all the way to Istanbul on the Bosphorus. They'd been at sea for months in horrible conditions.
This is how they come and inspect them. And not to mention, there were little girls as well, like 12, 13. There you go. That's a little child. So again, that is the actual depiction of what it would have been. Now this guy is like, oh yeah, and she's a mother, and he'd be like, yeah, here's the money, take it. I don't want the mother, I just want her. And I'm only showing the depiction. Like, imagine this is how it was. Your Muhammad, the merciful prophet, sanctioned this. He banned alcohol and interest and gambling, but didn't ban this. You know why? Because he had this. He
And
had
guys,
this.
what
He was looking
Harris?
out.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, that's it. He was looking out for his Willie and then you made that point that it's quite clear that Muhammad was actually looking at the sexual interests of his buddies as well.
Yeah, it was literally like rose before hose for him the whole way. But what you showed as well, this is actually what got me really interested as well when I was studying a module at university, which was the history of it was called Cities of Empire and Paradise, and we studied the Mughals, the Safavids, and the Ottomans, and that's where I kind of got to know more about this slave trade and the original use of the word Slav and these raids they would do. And if you've actually, like what Harris just showed in terms of video, if you're interested, not the Ertugrul, which is the new one, but the show before that called Muhtazem Yüzyıl, I think in Turkish, but it's Magnificent Century. That's literally Sultan Suleiman and Hurrem story. And the initial episodes of that are literally showing how they go to these Eastern European countries and they literally killed her fiance and her dad and her brother in the church that they were praying in. And then you see the whole process that they endure, the being sold and then sold and then sold on and then put on a ship, can't see anything, don't know, all they know is they're going to the palace of the Sultan. And they go on this crazy journey, and then you literally see how they're treated and the position of the harem and how that whole concept works. But it's crazy, and talk about like visualization and seeing it and really understanding what went down. That did it for me, because that was actually a story you could connect to, and that is showing the whole process. So it definitely does have way more of an impact that way, and that's when I got reading on the Arab slave trade as well.
So yeah, guys, this is sex slavery. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.